How's she going? So I'm working away on this Ranger. If you asked me a couple weeks ago how it is, I would have told you it's a great little truck. And it started missing on a cylinder, so I thought no big deal, need some new spark plugs, whatever. Changed all that. Still missing. Then I compression tested it. Dead hole in the back. So I tried looking for another motor, and they're very hard to find because this one uses a 2.3 liter Duratec, like overhead cam. Not the old style Lima 2.3s like that went back to Pintos and things like that. And I eventually found one, and before I put it in, I spun it over with the starter and compression tested it. And this one has two dead holes in the back, and by dead I mean like 20 psi, and the front two are around 180. So I figured the one I pulled was better than that, and I did a wet test. I poured a bunch of ATF down the hole and tested again, no compression change. So I knew instantly it was valve train. So sure as shit, pulled the head off, and that is missing out of the valve. And I would guarantee the engine I got from the junkyard has the same issue. So my thoughts are the valves are made of very poor quality metal, and it's on the exhaust that's happening. I think with the exhaust, it has factory. It has two caps, and they're probably half plugged now because it's got like 200,000 miles, 300,000 kilometers on it. I bet you they're quite restrictive, and they will not let the heat leave the exhaust side of the motor, and it gets stored in the valve, and after so many heating and cooling cycles, they chip away. So I'm going to do a not so proper uh, fix to it. I'm just going to throw a new valve in it and lap it into the seat, and I'll check to make sure it seals half-assed, and if it does, good enough. I'm spending as little money as possible. All I'm going to do is put a new clutch disc in it and send her on her way, and hopefully I get a couple more years out of it, because these little trucks are a bloody fortune now, because the powers that be in my country came out with something called a carbon tax, which they've increased so many times now that fuel is pretty much unaffordable for anybody that works a normal trade type job for a living. So and by that happening, it's made these little trucks like double or triple in price from a couple years ago. So there's a huge market for these, and I wasn't going to spend $6,000 on a pile of shit like I already got, so I figured at least I know what I have, and I'll make this one work, and we'll go from there. But I guarantee you this motor, same thing. I bet you it has two bad exhaust valves in it. Other than that, I bet you it's perfect, because like I said, the front two cylinders had 180 psi. As for power, this little 2.3, I think they're close to 10 to 1 compression, and yeah, they rip pretty good. Like this thing will do 100 miles an hour, no problem. You could pull a boat or whatever with it, no sweat. I bet you would pull up to 3,000 pounds, all right. So for what it is, it's quite capable. I would say it's for speed wise. I used to have an older 4-liter push rod Ranger, and I bet you it's just as fast as my 4-liter was. But I would say the 4-liter definitely grunts down low way better, because I used to pull trailers and stuff with that 4-liter, and it was a 5-speed, and it pulled awesome. To tell you the truth, I think it took off with less clutch needing to be slipped than my 5-liter F-150 I had around the same time. So no, the 4-liter push rod engine was a great engine, and I thought the same about this one till this happened, and then I discovered they all have massive exhaust problems. So yeah, I'll be honest, I really don't like working on this type of thing. To get the motor out with the wiring, all the attached was just complete craziness. The way it's roaded, there's hoses on top of it, and if hot rodding was just injected LS's and modern Hemis and Coyote motors, I would not be a hot rodder. I do not find this fun at all. I despise wiring. It's just amazing you need all this shit nowadays to make something run. when you could have an HEI distributor with one wire and a one wire alternator, and it'll do exactly the same thing. So and it'll run just as good. So for some reason we need all this today to do the same thing with two wires did 30 years ago. Anyhow, yeah, I'm not spending any money. It's got a multi-layer steel shim head gasket. I'm going to clean it up, copper coat it, and put it back on. I'm not spending any money on anything on this thing that I don't have to. I just want it to work. And they don't even use gaskets on this motor. Like, everything's caulked from factory. It's got a valve cover gasket and a head gasket, and everything else is caulking. But yeah, anyhow, we'll see how this goes. I'll get my clutch and stuff tomorrow, so hopefully it's in on the weekend and it starts. Alright, have a good one till next time.